Hello, and my name is Olivia Cade, and welcome to my interpretation video talk of coral reefs. Okay, let's get started here. Okay, so I'm going to cover some brief objectives, operation goals, guidelines, and objectives about and safety, sorry, and safety and my mission statement for this activity. To begin, I hope that people will learn about coral reefs and be able to better explore and enhance their knowledge in the underwater and underwater observations. My guidelines and the topics I will be covering to help in to build further growth on these topics are the habitat and effects on climate change on coral reefs. I will also be showing some videos and some pictures that I took at the site as well in my presentation to show the viewers and within this activity. So we'll be going over that as well. Another important topic that I would like to discuss is swimming at sea and emergency safety issues in the water. And we will be gone for about, I would say, give or take 4 or 5 hours, something like that, 3 to 5. So it's important that because we're going to be out in the water, it's important to have the proper equipment. For this activity, we're going to be snorkeling, so have goggles and an air goggles and a mouthpiece, and also a life jacket and water shoes. Distinguished coral reefs is that they have a curvature in their shell, and it almost looks like a brain in water that just kind of sits on a rock. The feeling of coral reefs is very hard, very textury, like little tiny rocks piled up together. There are multiple dangers when it comes to coral reefs. One of them is climate change and sunscreen. You wouldn't think that sunscreen would be such a big concern in the world when it comes to animals in the ocean. However, sunscreen is actually detrimental to animals' health and plants' health in the ocean. A chemical in sunscreen can actually damage the health in the water. The chemical in sunscreen that prevents the UV rays from coming onto the human body. Once that's washed off, it goes into the ocean, and that deteriorates the life forces within the ocean. important factor to keep in mind when swimming at sea is to make sure that you tell somebody where you go, because it's very important in case anything ever happens, like you get swept up from sea, or you run out of service, your phone dies, something like that. Plans sometimes don't go according to plans, so you want to make sure that you tell a friend. You also want to check to see if it's high tide or low tide. I highly recommend, like strongly encourage, it's a must, to be honest with you, that you snorkel at low tide, because at high tide the waves can get really high, and you can get swept off to sea, which would not be good. And if you do get swept off to sea, ways to prevent that are by swimming horizontal to the shore, because therefore you will not get swept out to sea, and you will be able to swim along the current. Swimming along the current is a way to prevent getting swept out to sea. Also, having a life jacket and water shoes is an important factor as well, because you don't want to scrape your knees or your feet on the rocks that are below. In conclusion, I think in conclusion, I hope this has been a very informative activity for you all. I hope that you learned a lot about coral reefs and their inhabitants, and the effects that sunscreen and other climate change related issues on coral reefs. I will let me know if you have any questions regarding climate change towards coral reefs or any other activities regarding coral reefs. I look forward to hearing from you all. And this is I had a lovely time studying coral reefs, as it is truly a deeply sentimental project to me. Thank you.